Okay. Ow. Peace and blessings of the Most High, the boundless omniverses, multiverses, triverses, dual verses, and universes be upon you all in earshot and eye shot of the God. It's your friendly neighborhood Pharaoh Rising, Shepsi's Duamu Tefamoon, and welcome to another episode of Revision Radio, where we seek right knowledge, right wisdom, right understanding, right thinking, right reasoning, and right action from the third eye point of view. If you happen to be chilling, want some real information, beloveds, get with your boy. I'm here. I'm on deck. Yeah, I'm practicing this going live thing. You know what I'm saying? Just trying to get my consistency together because there's so much information out there, to pass on to the people. Anybody that caught that joint yesterday, the sister was giving it up. Appreciate her. You know what I'm saying? That was the sister Marianne, and we're gonna do another joint on Saturday. We're gonna follow that up with part 2, dealing with the freedom of the master teacher. Before I get into all of that, though, let me get my routine together. I'm gonna set it off with a prayer, and the sister was emphasizing that it should be done inside the language, as well as the Inglisi, and we should do it inside the Sabeg language. So I agree. I don't disagree. So let me see. This is a prayer of thankfulness. Let me see. Okay. Yeah, so we should be on I don't know, I was trying to get it on Facebook, but I don't know how that thing really was acting up. But anyway, the next one will be on Facebook. Alright, tonight's show is about to be crazy, y'all. Please, 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 beloved. Okay, the prayer of thankfulness. Pa namazor shalel tawe mulnus. Oh, my ancestors, protect me. Ya ye aye muslafu asyun naya. From the bad females, mane pa murshatu, the bad males, mursha'u, my own self and weakness. Nafashnini wu da'afnus. Because I am weak while living inside this flesh. Alish, Anuki Daif, Hayun Hayu, Jawef Panin Bashar. This body, Panin Khatat, this skin suit, weak for temptations. Panin Kashar, Bazal Daif, Lahe Takro'at. I'm tired of crying. Anuki Tae, Shalel Ba'akui, tired of people dying. Tae, Shalel Shakas U Ma'awut. Tired of depression and sadness of this world. Tae Shalel Tadzgut Wud Harafnus. Shalel Panin Tapal Bi Pamwad. Panin Tapal. By way of the Adamites and their creator and breeders. Bi Pamwadamu Wu Mutmad Or Hum Wu Mujnas Or U. Hear me, O my ancestors. Askui Naya. Yaye Aye Muslafu, protect me from them and their malevolent ways. Asyun Naya Mane, Amthum Wu Rashahum Tarakat. Oh, my ancestors, I try to be benevolent. Yaye Aye Muslafu na kuk fahus lahe kawan. Kawan Hashar, of the ones who are trustful, the loyal ones as a Sabian. Shalel pamustakmulu pamufeu ame musbatu. O providers, I am grateful for Baba Yaanuwn, Yaye Murzaku, Anuki Shakemu Lahe Baba Yananan, my own warner, reformer, and savior during my own lifetime. Ayenini Muzar or Mujdad or Wu Muklas or Khalul Ayenini Haya Wakut. I am thankful for the truth, the actual facts, and the way. Anuki Tawemu Lahe Pa Sawab Pa Hakakal Hakakat Wu Pa Tarak. O my ancestors, I plead to you all by way of prayer. Yaye Aye Muslafu Nakuk Ta Fuha Laye Amkum Bi Namaz Or. 3 times each day, morning, noon, and night. Talu wa kutat wa zamut zahud nahud wu garut. 9, 3, and 9. Tasu talu wu tasu. Psalms 55, 16, and 17. Mizmar 55, 16, 17. Please welcome me. Glory to you, and gratitude is due to you. Forgive me. Please welcome Satat Kabul Naya Sabah Laye Amkum Wu Hamad Kawun Laye Amkum Akfor Naya. Mizmar 55, 16 through 17. Psalms 55, 16 through 17. And that is, as for me, I will call to the overseers. Ame Lahe Naya Nakuk Shawel Daud Laye Pa Mundaru. And the master will save me. Wu Pa Nabab Shawel Kalus Naya. Evening and morning. And at noon, Masud Wu Zahud Wu Jaye Nahud, will I pray and cry aloud, and he will hear my voice. Nakuk Namuz Shawel Nakuk Namuz Wu Bakui Gahir Wu Anhu Shawel Sakui Sawatni. Okay. And what's today? It's actually 22nd, but we're gonna read what's today? 6th. We're gonna read the 5th. What's that? February 5th. This is coming from, okay, this is a little read. This is our calendar on revolutionary thoughts. February 5th. Reasoning is the shackle of the coward. Let's see what this going to. Okay. Talk seems to be directly related to just how much trouble we are in. Whether or not we believe our enemies should share in our most private, serious discussions, and how long we should hold these discussions. If nothing else, warriors should first establish just how long the discussion should go on before beginning the discussion. Some will try to confuse the African tradition of making sure all have their say, and that debate will go on until all were satisfied with the decision to continue rambling on about something to which obviously no solution is sought, or it would have already been found and acted upon. But again, this is not traditional African society, and we do not have time for meaningless intellectualizing. What those who waste precious time reasoning are doing is akin to the victim of a fatal gunshot, lying on the ground, bleeding to death, debating with onlookers over what caliber of bullet is lodged in his heart. We know what is wrong. We know what is needed. It is a correction. Talk lessens the compulsion to do something about what is wrong because it makes you feel that you're already doing something constructive about it. Revolution is not a conversation. Excuse me. Sadly, this statement will probably generate more debate than action. And if it does, then it just goes to show how uncontrollably we are driven to meaningless, unproductive debate, and how unconsciously counter-revolutionary the debaters are. We affirm, I do not engage in meaningless, unproductive debate. Oh, this is excellent for tonight. Oh, and before we go, our daily word from Makul, Chief Thunderword Black Eagle, Dr. Malachi Kobino Zodak York L, His Excellency, Baba Yaanuwn, the Master of the Heavens and Earth. So, we're going to the fifth. We're doing the fifth, y'all. Okay, and Baba's word of wisdom is to think is a gift. Don't misuse it today and don't underuse it. Okay? All right. Now, yesterday, God was in real form. I didn't know that the sister, I didn't know that she went so far back in time with the master. I didn't know that she was on the land during the raid. I didn't know that she was so, such an intricate part of so many different things that took place. I ain't gonna lie, it makes me wonder. It makes me wonder why her words are falling on deaf ears. We covered the fact that the Sister Meridian, she's a part of the what is that, Association of African Descendants Worldwide, that has sponsorship and partnership with um, a prime minister of Africa, of Nigeria specifically. I don't know what city or region he's the prime minister of, honestly. But she's pushing and apparently, and the brother has offered to bring in the African Union as a part of his declaration to assist in the repatriation of Baba Yaanuwn to the continent. Um, and that alone is worth the conversation, as well as the other stuff that I didn't got access to with through the goddess, because she emailed me a lot of the emails that she sent. People that wasn't supposed to be in authority, and they refused to respond. So I'm gonna tell you the biggest thing that stood out to me was when she was talking about the sanitation truck that they sent ahead of time. They sent the sanitation truck on Tamaray, and there was no schedule for any sanitation workers. So the brothers let the truck in and then guided the truck to where it wanted to be. Meanwhile, the truck is sitting there doing surveillance for the police that's about to come through and destroy our majestic holy land. Yeah, that was heavy, man. She was dropping some jewels. She was talking about Baba trapping the devil. That was serious. And talking about trapping him in the web. Remember Leviathan 666? He was talking about we gotta trap him. You can't kill the devil, because he represents a specific force, and he's a part of everything and everybody. You have to trap him, similar to a hadith that Prophet Muhammad used to say, talking about his jinn, how he make his jinn make salat. He got his jinn subdued. So it's one of those situations where you have to subdue your jinn. You have to trap the devil. So Baba was talking about trapping the devil in the web, the World Wide Web. I mean, that could go so many places. I don't even want to try to get into that, but our purpose for today's build is the power of a name. What is the power of a name? I mean, we all got names. We all have several names, honestly. Tell you the truth. You got your. I remember Baba said, he says, what he said? He said, Yeah, well, he was like how he was like you know your mother calls you son or call you by your name. You know your brothers and sisters call you like by your nicknames and stuff. You know your wife calls you baby and honey, and your children call you daddy or mommy. People in the street, people at work call you by your name by the government, and you have to see all those different names. You see all that those different things, man. Like, and then you got people that's not really cool with you, and they call you by some names too. That little dirtbag, this mother, stuff like that. So yeah, names is. But what's in it? Like there's a scripture what it says. What scripture is that? I got my phone loose. Let's see what the scripture says. Um, we're gonna start. Should we start there? Yeah, I don't mind. Scripture on about names. Okay, a good name. Proverbs 22:1. A good name is to be chosen rather than great riches, loving favor rather than silver and gold. Both riches, silver and gold, and an honorable reputation are good. The significance of a name. Um, the power and significance of a name. This is just a quote I'm looking out real fast. From the reason to why we are given such a name to the historical lineage and significance of what a name has come to represent. Our name, beyond its objective purpose, encompasses what and who each of us is. Its essence is at the very heart of our existence. It's significant what tribe you came from. That's serious because it's showing that the name is a continuation of the legacy. And when we came here in this country, our people were broke off from that legacy, so they lost access to the reasoning of the name through certain alien cultures that were forced upon us that we think that we voluntarily became a part of. Whether the whether Judaism, Christianity, Islam, Buddhism, Confucianism, whatever, and our people became a part of those cultures. A lot of those could they have naming ceremonies, and which come from our ancient ways, but they were kept alive in these invading cultures, and they named their children after like the seventh day, and the names have to have meaning. You usually take a week to study the baby to see their nature, and then you give them a name based on that. Let me see. Yeah, so a name go back like that. Let me see. What is the Latin word for name? Nomenclature. What is that? Latin, Greek, or something like that? Okay, nomenclature. The devising or choosing of of names for things, especially in science or other discipline. The body or system of names in a particular field. Every time I'm on the mic, I gotta go through. I never go through this one. Ain't that something? Mm-hmm. That's the white man inside me trying to stop me from talking. Pause. The body, the nomenclature of chemical compounds. That's nomenclature is the formal, the term or terms applied to someone or something. Customers were preferred to the original nomenclature as passengers. See, so it's a term that applied to someone or something, right? Nomenclatures are like titles, terminologies. Again, names. So one of my brothers, he wrote a dissertation on nomenclature. My brother Salih, he's one of them little geniuses, my little big brother, right? And he was breaking down how, like, you go from, remember I said earlier, talk about Bob was talking about, your name would be, honey or daddy or son, depending on the relationship, or like if Bob even said, he said the dog will call you wolf, something like that. So, um, what Salih did was he was like, okay, so you're the neighbor, you're the brother, you're the cousin, you're the father, you're the husband, you're the coworker. And then something happens. You end up locked up. Now you're a felon. The nomenclature, the identification of you being a felon now disqualifies you as just being a neighbor, a father, a son, a husband, a coworker. It just changes the definition of what you are, what you're being identified as now. Now it supersedes. It's like the superseding indictment. It supersedes. So now that was very, very meaningful to me, because if you think about the news and when they cover shootings or issues with these young white folks, they'll make sure that they say that he was disturbed, he had problems, he was struggling, things of that nature, in order to paint the picture to get sympathy for him. But then it was young black folks in the same situation. They'll talk about his criminal history. They'll talk about they'll talk about his record. They'll talk about how many crimes he did, when how he was gang affiliated, the neighborhood he lived in. Nothing to give any rise to compassion. Everything to lead the listener and the watcher to want to convict and distance themselves from the allegedly accused. So, the power of a name. One of the most significant things outside of what I read from the scripture in Proverbs, when they said a good name is worth more than gold. I mean, that's official. When I was locked up, they could use my name to get anything, because I was good. They'd be like, "Yo, beloved, yeah, beloved co-sign you, beloved, you co-sign this dude, facts. All right, you got it. My name's good. Some people names Mud. But one of the most significant things, the master Yaanuwn taught us about the name was, I think I mentioned it yesterday when I was talking to the goddess. When we were talking about, I don't know, while talking to the goddess, I was talking to the Muzi, Sanan Jahutwi, on the phone. And we were speaking about Panatha. So we were saying how, like, back in the days in Egyptologists, even today, and like the what's that, the studio Patal Hotel, what they call the Egyptologists, the sisters and brothers. You talking about the jewelry? No, I'm talking about the organization, the temple. Society. Okay, the Sarset Society. Pardon me, family, for not remembering the name. So yeah, they, like the way that they pronounce. They don't just say Natir, they pronounce Natir, 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 right? And if you listen to them, um, when you listen to them do the rituals, I've listened to a lot of their rituals. I've seen a lot of the rituals, and they do they roll it, no vowels, only consonants. They do only consonants. If they ain't got no limit anywhere, I'm supposed to do that. I think I did now. Okay, man. I'm not going to go for my honey anyway. That's for my ritual. Now it's like everybody eat honey. Thank you, baby. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so they speaking the hieroglyphs. They translating the hieroglyphs and they doing the incantations, the ceremonies, the rituals, but only consonants. Now you know we can't smoke no vowels. A E I O U and sometimes Y. Now we learned from the master that all the vowels are interchangeable throughout the ancient Semitic languages. Okay, not even talk about the vowels being interchangeable. What I'm pointing out is why have the Egyptian names been shortened? Because those are not the original tones of ancient what they call Kemet, right? So what happens is invaders come in. When invaders come in, the peoples, our Salal, our family, our Yisar, they shorten. It's just like, okay, somebody get bagged in the hood, right? And the DT, the detective that been watching, investigating, or whatever agent they had sitting there watching y'all, when they identify you, they be like, yeah, this is T, this is J, this is this is Mel. See all them names short? They don't know Melvin. They don't know James or Jonathan. They don't know Timothy, Tony, or T that was Anthony, that was shortened to Tony, that was shortened to T. They don't know that. That's how it was in ancient Kemet, ancient Tamaray. The invaders came in, those names were shortened, and Baba explained that they shortened it, that the names were shortened so that y'all wouldn't, he said, so y'all wouldn't have access to them. Because the power of a name is if you're called, if they're called, you'll have to respond. So you'll hear those brothers and sisters using the, natir, natir, other stuff. And, you gotta work with what you got. Cool. But you see, if you see in our books, right, with the Sabaic, Muspatia, you'll see Panatar, Wu Pa Natar Tat. So you'll see the Nathar, the male, and the Nathartat, the female overseers. And see, and you'll see also Ray is Raye. You'll see within the attributes. Let me go to the attributes so I can show you some other stuff. In the attributes, it's very important. Okay, so Yaim Nuid, Yaye Nathar, Yaye Msetak Tui, Yaye Nathar. I'm go back to the first ones. Because most of us are familiar with the 9, the majestic ones. Yaye Mukamiya, Yaye Natharu, or majestic ones, the Neads, or overseers, right? Yaye Atum, Yaye Nathar, Yaye Shashash, that's Shu. Yaye Nathar. So in the Kemetic that everybody else is using, it's Shu. But to the Sabaeans, it's Shashash. So in the Kemetic to everybody else, in the hieroglyph, it's Yaye Tefnut, Yaye Nathir. And to us, the Sabaeans, under the guidance of Jehutri incarnated, of Yaanuwn, he's opened up the tones again. The doorways are opened up. He's given us the tones that Panathar will react to, call and response. That's when the prayer I read yesterday was like, forgive me for not calling on you. Like, I'm calling on you now. I ain't been around in a while. I'm sorry. You niggas was lying. They told me to call some other people. I didn't have your number. We got your number now. We on the jack. Please respond. Right? So we saying Yaye Tafaf Natat Yaye Natartat. They're saying Yaye Tafnut. And even without the E and the F is Tafnut. Tafnut. I mean, that's how they really do it. I'm telling you serious. Yaye Sabab, Yaye Nathar. Sabab is their equivalent. Sabab is Geb. The Geb, the Nut, the Tefnut, the Isis, the Osiris. Those are Greek. Those are perverted versions of our ancestors' names. No wonder we ain't getting no response. Now we have the tones opening up. Yaye Sabab, Geb, Yaye Natat, Yaye Nathartat, Nut, Yaye Arashtat, Yaye Nathartat, who they call Isis. Yaye Asar, Yaye Nathar, Osiris. Yaye Nababtat, Hatat, Yaye Nathartat, Nephis. Yaye Satak, Yaye Nathar, Set, Yaye Harar, Yaye Nathar. So that was harvest. And so forth and so on. Now we go into the deities of the water. We go into the deities of the light and the deities of the earth. Like, yeah. So point being, we now have access. We got the numbers. I said before, if you line up, I mean, these are, I mean, Baba, he ain't tell niggas to do this. So, y'all niggas get into that witchcraft stuff. I ain't with all that. I'm just telling you, studying the Sufi order stuff, studying the ancient mystic order, studying AEO, studying. I've, picked up some things here and there, studying around, and just the reality of when you line up the 99 Nathar, Ranui, the names, Ranan, Ranan at, the 99 names, and you line them up with the 99 elements, and you match up what element corresponds with which Nathar and Nathartat, you can now utilize those elements to activate and strengthen that connect. That's just me giving you some game. You could, I'm not saying to go about doing none of that. My point is that the doors is open, call on the names, and confirm going into the power of the names. Okay. Now we know the proper pronunciation. Now we can call on the overseers to assist us. Okay. Now another in the black book too. In the black book too. I'm going there right now. First letters. In the black book too, Bible builds on. He builds on the name in the beginning of it. It's a long, drawn out joint, but I'm gonna go back to it now. Listen, don't be sweating my daduk. Y'all stole one of them. I hear y'all. I heard y'all at the class. I'm not blowing it up. I'm not gonna talk about nobody on the other side of the water from New York. I heard y'all about my other daduk. It's alright though. I got some more. I'm about to go in the bag and get them daduks. Got a bag of daduks. Pause. It just sounds so cool. Pause, beloved. Yeah. So, what Baba said, he said, he's appointed by the forces of nature to determine and disclose to the people the hidden past, the changing present, and the ruling future. I heard Hieroglyphs stole that one. Is in one of his books. Niggas be stealing. Okay, there we go. Niggas be stealing. Ooh. Okay, let's So in the Black Book 163, question: who are you and where are you from? Excuse me, y'all. All right, so the master says, I am a product of your needs, an answerer to your questions, a fulfiller of your dreams. However, first know that I am the great Nathar, Amunabab Reya Kakpata, who did not rule on earth but rule amongst the stars. Hint. I am also known as Amanubi Reakpata, or Amunub Ra'a Ka'apata, Reya Kakpata, Ka'apata, the sun raising out of the east unto the west, who throughout time on earth was known as the great Tahuti from Septid series, even called Jehuti, Jehute, all different words of spelling Jehuti. Or in Greek, they called me Thoth or Thought, where the word thought come from, thought, and Hermes Trismegistus, also called by the Arabs of Islam Al-Khadir or Al-Masi, and by the Hebrew Rabboni Hamashiach, also called Isa Al-Hadi Al-Mahdi, the Grand Mufti of the Western world of or Al-Muqlas, the purifier, Al-Mujadid, the reformer, Al-Qubt, the axis, Al-Imam, the leader, Melchizedek, the angel of justice, Mikael, the angelic being who dares to be like El. That's the old translation back in the days. Yaanuwn, the 19th elder. Yaanuwn. Marduk, the Anunnaki. Malachi, the messenger of fulfillment. And Atum Re, the great deity of the sun. Re, Ra, Roy. Raised to the height 720 degrees, 360 degrees of physical understanding, 360 degrees of spiritual overstanding, the supreme grand hierophant of the ancient Egyptian order. Atumreye, why do you have so many goddamn Hatumreye? Why do you have so many Renan names? What many people don't know about the ancient Egyptian pharaohs is that we all change our names and many titles and had one secret and sacred name in tones, 3 special, 5 other titles called royal names. Okay. He said the pharaohs changed their names a lot. All right, they had one secret name, secret and sacred name, and in tones they had 3 special, and they have 5 other titles. So that come out to what, 9 names? Yeah, 5 other names, 3 special names, and 1 sacred or secret name. Okay, 5 elements denoting their connection to the Natharu, their divine purpose and function. What does these royal names include? They include Haru, a name to link oneself to the noble or royal family. This was done as the name was written in a sarek. The sarek was like Shinu, the cartouche, but with a symbol of the royal deity, in this case, a falcon or hawk, topped with sarik, with the symbol of Haru, Horus. This was the way of the Egyptians as Nubians and the blood seed, as well as descendants of the ancient Egyptians today. You have this right. Just as the Muslims call themselves Muhammad Khan or Sharif to link themselves to the noble family or the Al-Mahdi, this is how we did things. Number 2, Nepti, the throne, name or officer of master title. Adaferti at that time, Parare Aha, now, or Pharaoh, Rabboni, Imam, Reverend. The name or title of his or her leadership. Wab, holy priest, or priest of ceremonies and rituals, teachers of the mysteries. Simu, funeral priests, protectors of the dead, originally the priest of Anubu, guides of the spirit world, links between the living and the dead, or Jat, the vizier. 3, Nathar, deity name, golden name, depicting the royal person as the gold of the Natharu, gods, the earthly manifestation of the divine ones, Ilem Mutajasida, the avatar, and their beloved names like Gore, Hotep, Bes, or Aset. They would take on names of the Egyptian deities, just as you would say Abdullah, and the Christians, they linked your gods or incarnations of that deity. Nisut bit. This is 4. Name or title prefaced by 2 names, meaning this is a ruler out of the north or the south. Bit, out of the Nisut, north. Raising, out of the Sa. This is the 5th name. Son of birth. Name. This is his or her actual birth name given by their earthly parents, like York or Williams. So they get that down to 5, all the way to 5. Or Jackson. This is your bloodline name. So all Egyptians had many names, which caused many name changes. Think first. You're a pupil, then a student, then a teacher, then a professor, then an employer, then a boss. All of these are change in titles and names. And the other 3 names are how they are received. As example, are all the same persons, just how each language translates the same name. And the final and 9th name is called by the ancient Egyptian the sacred name, the big name, or the hidden name of power and tone, because it contains a secret tone to the essence of the being or person that opens the door that makes it irresistible to respond. The name used in Pahanumit movement to invoke the help or aid of the deities. I was just talking about. Oh, snap! I was just talking about that. Hmm. Let me see. How were we fooled before in the past? How were we fooled in the past? This ain't got nothing to do with what I was supposed to be talking about. In a whole world religion of the moon god given to you by 6 ether forces, negative spirit forces of sympathy, pity, apathy, jealousy, and discontentment, the laws of self-defeat and inferiority complexes. You see, before 1999, you worship spooks and spirits and ghosts. In turn, for your soul, they promise you grace, which is their Hebrew Old Testament. It's kani, favor, not forgiveness for your sins. Yet in the New Testament, it's kari, joy. Kari's joy. That's fun. Okay. Anyway, so y'all got the breakdown of the names. I'm gonna go back to that because when I alter my name again, maybe we would add me some huddles. We're gonna add some. Actually, I didn't give myself my name just for the first record. I earned mine, so earn yours, beloveds. So you see, the names are very significant. So Baba explained in there we had those royal names. You had 5. Then you had 3 other names, and then you had the sacred name. Then we didn't get to the family name was all the way down. The Jacksons, the Williams, and all that. That was all the way down to 5. It's called the Sa name. So just to say, that this is something that we've all names are very, very, very significant. It's nothing to play with. Sally's dissertation. Going over my checklist. Okay, that was good. Oh, another place. Baba talked about the name. This ties into just recently when the god Sabaean assassin was called in on the national address, and he was complaining about the Kedar, the name Kedar. He was complaining about the name Kedar because that's his Islamic name. Like my Islamic attribute is Shahid Al Noor. My peoples in the street call me Shy, Big Shy. Back in the days, Big Shy, the Pharaoh. Um, Even my wife sometimes be like, when Shaheen, you don't like Shaheen, I miss Shaheen. Shaheen was a little different. Shaheen, niggas be on it like that. And then you have a lot of my Muslim family, and they love the hey Shaheen, Salam Alaikum. They love that. They love the and it's cool as being a part of who you are in your journey, right? But the master explained that names are tones, sounds, tones, melodies. So I think it's in wavelength A or tones, melodies, molecules, and DNA, where he explained how, like, he used like the keys on the piano as an example. He said, like, if you press a C on the piano, you press the C, all of the C's will vibrate. None of the A's will vibrate, none of the B's will vibrate, none of the D's, none of the E's, none of that. Only the C's will vibrate. Boom. Just like you press an A, all of the A's will vibrate. He says with names, it's the same thing. He says, so if you're holding on to those old attributes under those own tones, he said when somebody calls you and activate that tone, all of the entities under that tone in existence, they basically all get a etheric tug, like they respond. All those energies, all of those Ali's and Bays and Johns and all of them people, they all respond and bring attention this way. So what energies are you trying to bring to yourself? Who are you trying to conjure into this plane with you? Your ancestors or somebody else's? Your spirit forces or somebody else's? So it's best to connect with your own spirit forces, your own tones. So when they call on you, if anything's gonna be attracted to you, it'll be your own, people, your own benefits, your own spirit forces. You understand? So that was a major thing. Moving on, cause we on to like it's one, we on to two. Okay, y'all ready? All right, cool. Um, Everybody else is gonna be a 2 hour run. When you listen to this, it's about to pay off. I mean, I think it's paying off already because so far I think we good. Okay, so now in the law, I don't know. I don't know how many of y'all are familiar. My travels, you know, um, I got into a little bit of trouble before. I'm from the hood. I was born in Fort Greene projects and Cumberland Hospital. Shout out Fort Greene, Brooklyn, period. Downtown Brooklyn, my stomping grounds, Albee Square Mall and all that, which is like a corner now that these, white folks and took it over. Brooklyn Heights that spilt over into Fort Greene. So, but yeah, I done got into some stuff. Shout out East New York, Brooklyn. My peoples be out there in Cypress right now. And they was trying to wire me up because the police had shot me in the back, and they didn't have any reason to be opening fire on me because I didn't have any weapons. So a lot of attention now was focused on making sure I took the fall for these things that transpired. Um, so I was under a lot of pressure, and even my private lawyer was trying to push me into. She was trying to get me to cop out to 20. She was like, I could break them down to 20, from 25 to 20. Talk about years, nigga. Talk about months. Talk about years, not days, not minutes, right? I was like, nah, I ain't having that. Mind you, I ain't never did that. I ain't never been to jail before. I don't got no record, no nothing. And I'm 27 at the time. And these niggas are trying to finish me. So them niggas come back and talk about the judge is like, look, you blow, talk about trial. No matter what they say, I'm putting you in. She says, I'm recommending you for 8 counts, 25 years running wild. Okay, for those that don't know, running wild means just what it sounds like, meaning all over the place. So those 8 counts, that means for whatever every count of my charge, I think the charge at the time was like armed robbery. Mind you, I told you I ain't have no weapon, so whatever. Armed robbery is the charge. So 8 counts. So every count guaranteeing that I was gonna do 25 years for every count. Yo, okay, you do the math. Okay, 25 one time, 25 two second count. That's 50. 25 third count. That's 75. 25 fourth count. That's 100. That's all I did. I just counted to that. And 4 more of those is double that 100. Whoa, nigga, we off that. So my alternative was to take that 25. 25 years. So you know what I did. Nigga, I fired my lawyer and I represented myself. That's what I did. And guess what? I shocked the world, baby. Now I didn't get free because they pull some bull crap in the end, you know, and because I did cop a plea. I did cop a plea. The plea was for 12 flat. Now mind you, the lawyer, she done got paid damn near $20,000, and she talked about 25 years is all she could give me. The judge is like, if I go to trial, I'm getting 208 counts, armed robbery, running wild, 25 years for each count. I fired that damn lawyer. I came in here by myself and I spit my thing. And it was working. But I had to cop plea to postpone them pushing me into the trial because something happened with somebody, one of my what do they call him? He was an assistant. Remember Mr. Kelly? I don't want to say his whole name, but
we'll say legal counsel.
Yeah, he was like legal counsel. He was like assisting me. He was a counselor, but what he was a publisher and editor of like a lot of the UCC information. Let's say that. Okay, so I was taking the information. I had all the books. So if you go back to like the early 2000s and you was on Rikers Island, if you was in the if you was in the Beacon, or you was in OBCC, and you ran into the law library and you had access to any UCC information or Xerox pages of what they called sovereign paperwork, 9 out of 10 times that was mine. That was mine floating around because I had the whole books. Everybody else just had pieces of paper, notes and stuff like that. Nah. Now we had, matter of fact, shout out to Utmost, who I met in the Beacon. You know what I'm saying? When niggas was boofing batteries in order not to leave OB / to go to the Beacon because you had to put in work over there. And family showed me super love. I'm not bragging. Anybody from the, that ever bid it, y'all know what it is. Insofar as certain places, certain people, certain things. All I'm saying is I didn't have to get up to go to breakfast. Frosty slid under my door. They was there when I woke up. That's all I'm saying. We're gonna build on that on when we go on prison night. We gonna have some prison. Then we're gonna build on some streets too. Let y'all niggas, because a lot of people think that everybody that's dealing with the master is like some SpongeBob SquarePants weirdo, you know what I'm saying, UFOologist just with their head in the sky. When most of us do smack your head off your shoulders for GP because you're looking crazy. Back in the days, we would have did that. Right now, we vibe with me, Big Brother Almighty. So anyway, so I used the sovereignty information. I used the UCC and all that again in the court. Boom, banging them. They had to hire. I'm giving y'all a little bit too much, but let me say this. I'm just because I'm tooting my horn. They brought, when after I introduced myself and my proper standing, they brought a whole team of prosecutors that specialize in this information. Again, we'll walk through the story step by step. I wrote a book about it. I got my documents in the book, the whole 9 yards. But the most important thing is I was looking at 200. They was offering me 25. I ended up with 12. That's the most important thing. Okay, so it wasn't a win-win-win, but it wasn't a win-lose neither, nigga. That was a major win. It hurt, but it was a major win compared to what they was trying to do to me. Anyway, so dealing with that science, I'm holding back a lot of information, just for the record. I'm purposely not identifying certain things because, niggas running around trying to get in and all that stuff. Because a lot of these niggas, I know where dudes be talking all on the social media, all on the internet, all on the YouTube. I know exactly where they be getting the information from. And I just be watching and laughing. I'll be like, yeah, half-ass. But I'm going to do a build on this, and I'm going to give references to who y'all should listen to, who y'all shouldn't listen to. But we definitely have to, this is very significant because on the back of our books, we say that we are, what do we say on the back of our books? We say that we are the United Sabian or the Wapian Nation, Yamasee Creek, Seminole, Washita, a government of retained sovereigns, indigenous, aborigine natives. That means you have retained your sovereignty. That means you know what without prejudice mean, right? Of course you do. Man, if we're a government of retained sovereigns, that means each one of us is a sovereign. Each one of us is a chief. Each one of us is a deity, and we appointed and elected Chief Black Thunderbird Eagle to guide us all. As sovereigns, he will be the sovereign of sovereigns. As masters, he will be the master of masters. And as gods, he will be the God of gods. That's what's happening, bro. And that's what we're missing. And that's why the God is still in. Anyway, I digress. So inside that science, there's a terminology called idemsonan. Black's Law Dictionary, first edition. This is a Latin word, and it says sounding the same or alike, having the same sound. A term applied to names which are substantially the same, though slightly varied in spelling, as Lawrence, Lawrence, and Lawrence, Lawrance, and the like. So this is a terminology in law, right? Telling you that those two names, Lawrence and Lawrence, in law, those are not the same. If the court docket, if the court indictment was in Lawrence Smith's name as opposed to Lawrence Smith, see, we would say, oh, they just spelled my name wrong. But in law, and you had a real lawyer, they'd be like, nah, that's not my client. I like to have this case dismissed. There is no indictment on my client. And they would try to play you off with regular comprehension of the English language and say, oh, it's just a misspelling. We can have that refiled. Nah, it's not. Because we're not talking about just speaking English. We're talking about, check it, legalese. Look it up. We're talking about legalese. Let me look up legalese. Thank you, Black Book. Let's see. What is legalese? Legalese. Legalese, the formal and technical language of legal documents that is often hard to understand. Okay, that last part is horseshit given by the attorneys, the lawyers, the barristers, in order for them to keep a monopoly and have you hire them to do transactions on your behalf. Baba actually he broke down in the books how attorney, their job is to turn over your stuff to them. You know what I'm saying? They work for them. They're all part of the same team. So we have to learn what's the difference between a counselor, an attorney, a lawyer, a barrister. What's the difference between a judge and a magistrate? We don't know these things. That's the world of law. So legalese, right? Legalese is a language that's used in law and in the courts. Just like you go to another country, you go to France, you get a French dictionary. You go to Spain, you get a Spanish dictionary. You take Spanish class, you get a Spanish dictionary. I was in ASL, sign language. You know, I had an ASL dictionary. I still have it in my lessons. So I'm gonna get nice with this ASL too. Just let y'all know. Putting a bug in your ear. Right here, one of the devils says, "Yo, why do lawyers use legalese?" It says that this helps to bring predictability and consistency to the law. It also makes it easier for lawyers to predict the outcome of similar cases they are handling for clients. In addition, the use of specific legal phrases can assist a lawyer in preparing legal documents for a client. This is one of the reasons they say they speak it. The point is that they're identifying, that legalese is a different language. Here we go. Just like we at English is a spellcasting language. There's spells and then you spelling the words. There's spells in the English language. If you go back to, I'm gonna upload the video soon. I'm still working on the kinks. I'm not that literate with this computer. And we put witches, white women and witchcraft. And we had the elder European lady who was breaking down the science of the spell on words. You know, and she started saying stuff like the morning, you know, how morning is. You say good morning, but like, what's so good about morning? We heard that from Bobby Yaanuwn. He taught us about the spell on the English language also. Um, inside that same video lecture, I spoke about the um, the witches' words. The witches' words that they use in rock music and pop music and in songs in order to hypnotize people. Because we hear English, we think they're saying the same language. No, it's coded. And a lot of people don't know, even the LGBTQ and all the super cute baby feminists that's and all these, you know, pro sexual freedom people, they don't know that the back in like the early 1900s, oh, there was a dictionary that was developed specifically for the homosexual community. It had over 10,000 words in it, all English on the surface, but they have their own meanings. Oh yeah, oh yeah. We be knowing about this. We be knowing. So legalese is the same thing. Just like we have, like. All right, let me give you an example. Back to my own situation, my own, you know, in my own journey. One of the situations, I think I mentioned it yesterday with the goddess, when the judge realized what I was doing, she tried to trap me back under jurisdiction. So she would make certain declarations, and then she would ask me, did I understand? Simple enough question. I would respond, no, I do not understand, but I do comprehend. And we went back, literally back and forth, where she was like, I'm, you don't understand what I'm saying? I'm like, no, but I comprehend you. So she was like, basically, she was like asking me, like, why don't you just say I understand? And I'm like, why don't you just accept me comprehending as being okay? So then she gives it up. She gives up the ghost. And she's like, yo, I'm not trying to trap you. She literally says that. I'm not trying to trap you. So, which confirmed what? That she was trying to trap me. Why? Because you have to consent. And let me see. I don't know what they're gonna say here. I know what I knew at the time was that understand, right? I knew that understand, the etymology of the word understand is my understand at the time in court, in legalese, meant that you stand under the authority of whoever's asking the question. Because it comes from the monarchy, and when they used to talk to the subordinates, and it was like, you understand? And like, yes, I understand. Like, yes, I'm in my place. And she was trying to bait me into my place in her courtroom because I made the declaration. I told her I'm the only one with honor, and here everybody else is dishonor, and they're trying to steal my honor. And I made that declaration in court. Wait till I get my copy of my transcripts, and I start putting all the stuff out that I was saying in court. You can be like, this nigga was crazy. So anyway, this is what they said. They said understand is old English understanding. They said, look, comprehend, grasp the idea of, probably literally to stand in the midst of. See, this is for probably. Okay. From under standing to stand, see. Old English overstanding, Middle English overstanding, literally overstand, seem to have been used only in literal senses. Mm. So if this the under is not the usual word, it says, but from the old pi is between among. So yeah, so anyway, that's how that went. That's how I know the power of words. You know what I'm saying? Like I use words, and inside dealing with the science of the UCC, one of the main things is about the name, right? You have the all capital letter name, the ens legis, as they call it. The ens legis, I have it here too. Ens legis, I ain't look for it. Anyway, the ens legis is the all capital letter name. It is the legal fiction. It is not the flesh and blood man or woman. So you are trying to get them, they're charging you, they're charging the flesh and blood man, they're charging the ens legis, the all capital letter name, and you're telling them, I am not that all capital letter name. I am a flesh and blood man or woman. What's the difference? Because a proper name is spelled with a capital first letter followed by a lowercase letter. Right? A capital last name is proper last name is capital first letter, lowercase letters following. Okay, um, so when you see an all capital letter name as the name of a person, what you're looking at is the name of a company. That's your corporate fiction. They had to create and turn you into a corporate fiction in order for them to control you, because the United States of America as a country is defunct and bankrupt. It doesn't exist. Inactivity it exists. It's real. Trump and them niggas gonna try to bring it back any day now. They're gonna come with a republic to counteract the democracy, because there is no democracy by law, not in the country. There's a democracy in the company. So the America disappeared in power, and United States came into existence in power, and United States is the company and America is the country. So America governs real people and the United States governs corporate fictions. And in order for the United States corporation to have power over its so-called citizens, they had to make them into corporate fictions, and then you become a subsidiary or a subordinate of the company, right? Which is why you owe part of the debt. See what I'm saying? Because you're part of the company. So I'm telling these niggas, no, I'm not part of the company. That is not my name. I own that name. I own that company. That company is not even part of your company. It's mine. And I'm the flesh and blood man. So that's a whole nother thing. You got to know how to shift your pivot in order to deal with that, which is why I love this Wu Sabat. Because Bob was always ready to shift his pivot. Which leads us to the main attraction. Dwight York versus Malachi Z. York. What's the power of a name? Let's see. Because one of the issues that's been going on, the main issue that's been overseen, like that's overlooked, dealing with Baba Yaanuwn's situation, his kidnapping, you know, 2002. Since 2002, right? One of the main situations is his name. In 2014, I think that was when they said, I know when they said that the Liberian government came to collect him as their diplomat council general. He was appointed council general in 96, and when they came to collect him, um United States response was, we don't have no one here by that name. Hold on, what the hell? Who? How they don't got nobody there by their name if Baba's there? I forgot something. I'm gonna double back real fast. I'm gonna come right back. It makes sense. I'm gonna tell you why I'm doing this. Because back to my case. My case, they were charging me with acting in concert. They were cornering me in this place where whatever my co-defendants were caught with, I would be charged with. Whatever their fate was, I would automatically have their fate. But I wouldn't be able to defend myself because they weren't charging me with the crime. We're not talking to you, bro. We're talking to him. But you can't defend yourself. You can't bring up a defense. Only he can bring up a defense. And if his defense not good enough, whatever we give him, nigga, is yours. This is what they do at the Baah. They literally dragged Dwight into court by name. Everything was on Dwight. But they dragged Baah's body as the collateral to put him into human warehousing to pay for the debt. Okay, now let's get back. So if we know that, let me just get to it. So I came across some really interesting documents. This is a letter from Baah. It was written in 526, 6010 HA, hereafter. Y'all know what day that is. That's 2010, hereafter. Baah says, Rahub letuk aye senen akay antuk. Greetings to you, my son. How are you? Well, son, I did receive your letter dated 5/19, 6010. HA, very pleased to read it, and all you said is being worked on right now. You see, son, no matter what games they try to play, in the end, we come out on top. As for this case, if they play with my diplomat status or Liberian citizenship, and that's what they are trying now, they had to agree that I am in fact the career consul general appointed to post by the then-elect president in 1999, December 15th. That date is not enough because I took an oath of allegiance to a foreign government, not on or in 1999, but in fact 1997. So that is the true date that I lost USA citizenship according to their laws. With that said, they try to deceive the Liberian government, stating, well, he committed the crimes before he was appointed to diplomatic posts. Now, to make that statement, as I was told, the U.S. State Department said to Congressman Mr. Hank Johnson, by their own statements, they are declaring that they accept the fact that on December 15th, 1999 AD, I was appointed by the Liberian government. 2 years after I took the oath, and on November 26, 1997, I was official Liberian citizenship. So now they have 3 dates to deal with. We have all the legal documentation to confirm each. Now, in order for them to make their claim, them being the U.S. State Department, well, Mr. York became a diplomat after the crimes were committed, so we don't have to repatriate him. First things first. So you do accept that he was a diplomat December 15th, 1999. Said and done before the record, and that he takes it back to the oath of office in 1997. I had to take an oath of office to first be accepted as a citizen, and then in 1999 a diplomat, because it said he had to live there for like 2 years before he could qualify for office. With that being said, the USA agreed that I am a diplomat with full diplomatic immunity as of 1999 and lost U.S. citizenship by the oath as of 1997. Now check it. This will Bob go in. What was the name of the person who lost his U.S. citizenship by taking an oath in 1997? And what was his legal name? Did he travel to Liberia on a passport? And if so, what name? Answer. Right. Isa al-Hadi al-Mahdi, the U.S. passport. Yes, we still have it. Then he had his name legally changed from that to what? Malachi York. See, the new passport U.S. issued. Now, what name was on the warrant issued to arrest a person in the state of Georgia? Dwight York. I'm stopping right there. Hold up. I could have stopped a long time ago, but we're going to recap right now. So, I was saying that when Mr. Congressman Hank Johnson was asking on his behalf in the State Department, they said that the crimes happened before his diplomatic post, but they accept and confirm his diplomatic post, and accepted his diplomatic post. They also are confirming his Liberian citizenship, confirming that he's not a United States citizen. Okay, so that goes back to 1997, right? Now let's move on. Um, Now, what name, basically, what is the name of the person that lost their U.S. citizenship in 1997? And what is the legal name of that's on the Liberian passport, right? Why is that important? Because they're saying, because right now we're going to talk about this warrant. Because if they're saying that they recognize when he lost his citizenship, 1997, they recognize when he became appointed off the seat in the council general by the country of Liberia. So how do we get this warrant in somebody else's name? Well, we got government documents, passports in the right name. Who is this other nigga? He says, okay, Isa al-Hadi Amati was on his passport until he changed it legally. That was around 99. He changed his name to Malachi York. See the new passport that the United States issued a new passport that that Isa al-Hadi Amati changed his name to Malachi York. Okay, where is this Dwight York shit coming from? That the name on the warrant is Dwight York. You cannot arrest somebody with a warrant in the wrong name. Right here. Listen, because guess what that means? That means the warrant is not legal for Malachi York because it's not in his name. That's like me coming for, I'm coming for a warrant for Jermaine Jackson. Pardon me, I'm not really trying to put you under the gun. I'm coming for a warrant for Jermaine Jackson, and the person that's there, his name is Timmy Smith. And I snatched, come on, Timmy, you going with me? Bro, my name is Timmy Smith. All my ID is Timmy Smith. All my bills is Timmy Smith. All my taxes is Timmy Smith. What are you locking me up for Jermaine Jackson for? This is what happened with Bible. And this I haven't heard anything from any of the legal team. When Hashit was just on there the other day during the national call, and she was like, oh, the name ain't nothing. It's regular. No, nigga. The name is everything. Guess who says the name is everything? Baba. Niggas is crazy. This means the warrants were not legal. This is Baba said. He said the warrant were not legal. You can't issue a warrant to a wrong name. And nowhere on the state case are the names spelled right. What did I just say about the spelling? The idemsonan. If the A is out of place and the E is out of place, Lawrence and Lawrence, those are two different people. If you Lawrence and they came in there with Lawrence, nigga, you going home. If you Lawrence and they came in there with Lawrence, nigga, you going home. Unless you accept it and consent to it, then they'll put it on there as an AKA because you empowered them to do it. So Baba says none of them was spelled right. So no Isa al-Mahdi, no Malachi York, none of that, none of the stuff that was on his U.S. passport was even in the documents. And that's the law. Investigated. That's just one point. This is what Baba's saying. But even if they make these claims, because they try to hit him with the AKAs. AKAs. Oh, he's AKA this, he AKA that. Bro, Y'all putting that on him. What does his document say? When they snatched him up, he had his passport on him, and the sheriff took it. Not Steels, the other cracker, Hick Pilgrim, Pillsbury, Doe, Faggot did it. He took it. He took his ID. So we have copies of it. And in the Counsel General office, they already know that. Because we was calling them. Excuse me. Ooh, that was some good food. Yeah, man. Baba blowing a lid off of this already. This is in 2010. Baba sent this update. The name, y'all. The name is important. We have to attack the name. What's her name? Victoria. The name. You're the domestic one. You're the domestic lawyer on deck, right? Tucker. I don't know. He working with Hash. I don't know. Them niggas probably just play handball all day. I don't know what them niggas doing. But the name is what's important. You gotta get to the name. Why? How do we allow them to get past kidnapping him with a fraudulent warrant that's not even in his name? And we did the research in Georgia for Dwight York. There was nobody born in 1945, 55, or 65 under Dwight York. There's 1975. So what are we talking about? That's impossible for that to be him. Okay, let me finish this. So that Baba said, investigate. That's just one point. He said, but even if they make these claims, they don't have any exact dates on their case or the crimes. There's no exact dates, only between such and such in 2002. So they have no dates on the crimes, no more the ages and places, and places don't even match up. Yet they, with all that being worked out, they have no way around it. Plus the violations on the federal holiday on January 18th, late Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. birthday. That's all you need to have this case overturned. Now, with Martin Luther King birthday, what we got to look into, this is fact, because only a chief judge can make a decision to open the trial of case during a federal holiday. But Mario has said that Adrian Patrick agreed to it prior to the day, not thinking or not knowing what date it really was. And then once they agreed to it, and Manny and all Aurora and all them other niggas, was he said Adrian Patrick, but once they agreed to it, now it was just carried through. So we gotta look into that. So anyway, but he said push that fact. Only a chief judge can order court open on federal holiday, and C. Ashley Royal was not a chief judge in 2003, 2004. So he cannot hold open court on January 18th, a federal legal holiday during that day of the trial on the court transcripts. It is right there. He was informed and asked, he on court record said, I don't care. Also, we have an affidavit done by attorney Manny Aurora of Garland and Loeb legal firm stating court was open on a federal holiday. Yes, we have them. So that alone overturns the case. And a lot of, even though a federal chief judge can do it, it's very rare. And then you also, we know, then he brings up, we have the conflict of interest will come up. That when Mr. Roy was an attorney, he was on the case with my wife, Baba's wife, Shalimar Richardson, the guy for Tantat, and himself, as well as Mr. Eli Richardson, his first wife, mother of Shalimar, Ethel, the owner of the land of 404 Shady Dale Road. At the time of his death and at the time of the trial, she was the true owner of the land. So Baba didn't own the land that they illegally stole. She was the true owner of the land, Ethel Richardson. Hope you see my point. Anyway, anywhere they turn, we have them. If we all work together and push the violation of the federal holiday, the conflict of interest, the dates and all the so-called crimes and the places by way that they came up. By the way, they came up with the superseding indictment. This is very deep. They came up with the superseding indictment because they knew they wasn't gonna let all that child molestation garbage stick. So they threw all that in the back and they brought up RICO and tax, right? The superseding indictment in 2003 for RICO and back taxes. Well, how does that stick? This is Baba saying. Well, they agreed that I was appointed to a diplomatic post in 1999, and diplomats don't pay taxes, so there is no RICO. Niggas, get back if you overstand. Type out and build on what I may have overlooked. Enough said. That's that. Pops, get back. That's how you end the letter. He's spitting bars. Okay, so so he ended off with the superseded indictment that they hit in 2003 for the RICO for back taxes, which is what they use, a conspiracy to snatch him up. That's what they used to hold him. But they already admitted and confirmed that he was a diplomat. There is no RICO. You gotta get this thing overturned. Yo, what the hell have y'all niggas been doing all these years? Now listen, I was on parole, okay? Let me explain my situation. I was living in a very, very harsh environment. I was crawling and scratching, getting my mind's eye together, making sure I didn't lose myself, turn into a savage, and run around and, you know what I mean, pull Megatron out on these niggas. I run around and Starscream, pull a Megatron out on these niggas. You know what I'm saying? I was getting my life together to make sure that I become the best God can become. So I wasn't in it. I ain't gonna lie. But during the time frame when I was locked up, I wrote a couple of books. You know, I got a bunch of notes. There's so much stuff. I mean, it's so much stuff that I'm gonna just keep spitting it out here because I also was giving stuff to, like, that's why I understand what the sister Mary M. Canty was talking about, giving things to the administration, stuff to the people for Baba, and it being turned down and niggas ignoring you, acting like they got it all together. I know what that looked like. So, because I did it, you know. So this is Baba's. This is Baba's message to us. And here it is, 2021. Baba still is in there. This was 11 years ago he sent this out. This was 11 years ago he sent this out. 2010, this update. And that was 8 years after he got locked up. So that's 19. Bro, he told niggas from the beginning what to do. Why they ain't do it? What happened? All these fancy lawyers, all these niggas getting paid, all this, heal the world, march around the world, all these different niggas right now, niggas is plotting and planning all kinds of cultural framing incidents. You don't even know that's what it's called, nigga. Y'all niggas are trying to do cultural framing. Go research the terminologies so you know what you actually trying to do. See, that's why Baba said y'all supposed to work with the people, because you don't know who people are. You don't know who niggas is. Y'all gotta work with the people, man. We got knowledge, wisdom, understanding of everything, man. If we connect with each other. You dig what I'm saying? Word, but let me see something. Did I yeah. So we yo, man. That's in a nutshell right there, baby. That's everything. The name. We gotta attack that goddamn Dwight. They got Baba boxed up with this Dwight bullshit, and then we co-signing it with this misnomer. No, nigga. Okay, if you got Dwight in there, cool, keep Dwight in there, nigga. We don't want Dwight. We want Malachi York. Let's check the fingerprints. And if you saying that that's an AKA, then you don't have no grounds to deny us when we coming for Malachi. You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand the reasoning that these niggas is using when talking. Like, what are you talking about? Baba said everything right here, bro. And when they go to the RICO's done because they confirmed that he's a diplomat. Overturn the RICO. Diplomats don't pay taxes. So what are you talking about? And that raggedy ass Royal, his last case as an attorney was against the nation under a Fatamtat and her father's death, and he lost. And then his first case as a judge is against us again. Conflict of interest. He should have been automatically dismissed off this case. That's another joint. And then them niggas holding the court the case on Martin Luther King's birthday. They have a trial. That's another thing. But the first thing is they call it the fruit of the poisonous tree. That's what they call it. So it's like, it's like they bum rush a house and they find 100 keys of coke in the closet and they don't have no warrant. Everything they found is inadmissible in the court. Everything they found. See what I'm saying? Fruit of poison tree. Y'all didn't come right. Or they come with a warrant and the warrant is in the wrong name. Everything they found, inadmissible. There's nothing. Guess what we have? That's what this is called. This is called. Hold up. I was going through it earlier. This is called. We got 15 minutes before I get out of here. This is called a void judgment. That's what this is. This is a void judgment. It's illegal. And we gotta attack void judgments. Let me see. Anything in void judgments. Let me look it up. Attacking void judgments. A court judgment that is void may be attacked by a motion under the Rule 60B, regardless of whether the motion is made within 1 year or is made later. Let me see. Void judgments. Mistakes. Check it. The most important thing is jurisdiction. They have no jurisdiction over Bob as a diplomat. They have no jurisdiction over Bob. We ain't even go into the indigenous thing. Court must prove on record all jurisdiction facts related to the jurisdiction asserted. Once challenged, jurisdiction cannot be assumed and must be proved to exist. A void judgment is to be distinguished. Let me see. Is that the one? Okay. A judgment is void if the court acted in a manner inconsistent with due process. A void judgment is a nullity and may be vacated at any time. A void judgment is one that has been procured by extrinsic or collateral fraud or entered by a court that did not have jurisdiction over the subject matter or the parties. A judgment obtained without jurisdiction over of the defendant is void. A void judgment is one of the grounds for relief under Rule 60. But I'm giving y'all some game because y'all niggas don't listen, man. I've been sitting on this for years. I gave Denton and Sakar access to hundreds of thousands of legal files and documents that they use internationally. I got a whole manuscript on how to set up an international nation, a sovereign nation. Bro, this is real talk. I fell to the backside. I let Deuce while I was talking his stuff. He was the ambassadors. Y'all niggas was like, ding, big brother almighty, all up on his, so. And y'all, follow the yellow brick road, follow the yellow brick road, follow the yellow brick road, ran into the yellow brick wall. So now niggas is I see niggas double backing. Ski. Nobody want to talk about Liberia no more. Nigga, this nothing. Baba closed the AEO. Baba closed a lot of the sacred orders because niggas talk too much. All right. He closed the sacred orders because niggas is passing off information. The pass key ceremony was stopped because y'all niggas was counterfeiting the pass keys. I'm saying all that to say, what makes you think that niggas don't know what the hell was going on over there in Liberia? What makes you think that niggas don't know what's going on all throughout the back channels within the nation? I'm telling y'all, like, bro, and all that stuff with Tabby Jet, and then now Sabine Assassin, and all that did it make the natives just restless because now niggas been sitting there holding back. Niggas been holding back for years on behalf of the master. Not because of y'all niggas. And I ain't talking about nobody specific. I'm talking about everybody in general. Now is the time, bro. It ain't even about niggas' ego. Like, yo, bro, get out off yourself. If you messed up, say, yo, we messed up, bro, and we got to double back. Don't say that corny shit. I see y'all niggas, oh, yo, why we want to talk? Don't talk about none of that. You're causing chaos. You're causing confusion and doubt. No, nigga, you causing confusion and doubt. Because you in a position of leadership, and niggas looking at you for guidance, and you hustling the niggas. You know what I'm saying? I ain't coming to you with no game. I ain't coming to you with no scam. Right? Brother Bane? Brother Bane's a too-big hustler, but one hand washes the other. Y'all just gotta cut it out, man. This for the masses. This for all the marbles, bro. This for all the marbles. Yeah, I know the deal, man. Baba, I know who Baba is. And that land in Tambray, yes, I know it was just the capital of our land. Yeah, and they know it too. We know that that little 400 some odd acres of land, that was a throw off, nigga. We coming for everything now. Cause you know what our land is? Our land is Alabama, that's ours. Our land is Georgia, that's ours. Our land is Mississippi, that's ours. All that's ours. That's a fact. All that for the Massey, Muskogee, all that's ours. That's a fact. We want all of it now. Now we was playing with. I'm talking to the crackers and the Black Devil Ghouls. Now all of it. Now we want everything. And y'all giving it up. We got the documents. We taking it to the hoop on this one, y'all. So yeah, let me start off with you welcome. Okay, start there. It's more to come. We got a whole lot more. Vibe on this. Break it apart. Make your comments. Send any y'all you want to holler at me, please send me your information. Email me at fablerising@gmail.com. Um, this broadcast was sponsored by Natural Nature Herbs. Let Mother Nature give you a hug. naturalnatureherbs.com. You know what I'm saying? Come on through there and get that CMOS Plus. That goody good. That's that Condis Crispus CMOS with that burdock root, bladderwrack, kelp, and cocoa mecca. I know cocoa mecca sound like black Arab to y'all niggas. I know what it sound like. Cocoa mecca. Sound like a sister from the Nation of the Gods and Earths. But nah, that's a super healing vine that helps with the whole body, man. But yeah, we got those in tablets, 90 tablets, and $50 bottle. And of course, we got the pumpkin pie sea moss. It's say pumpkin pie, but it's pumpkin sea moss with turmeric, ginger, and bladderwrack, and kelp, and burdock root, and we got the teas, and we got chemotherapy tea, and we got citrus hibiscus teas, and we got the black Jedi for the brothers. Whoa.
Is that what it sounds like?
That's what it sounds like.
That's what it sounds like when it comes up.
Once it go through the system, that's whoa. Baby, you coming to bed? Whoa.
Oh God. That's special.
That's the Jet Pillar Rejuvenators, the tablets, and the Black Jedi is the tincture. And yeah, man, and I'm still taking submissions for brothers and sisters that want to be a part of this compilation album that I'm putting together for the family. So y'all can hit me at farrellrising@gmail.com. Of course, the music is at farrellrising.com. Plus we got some new t-shirts about to come out. Y'all stay on deck, stay on, get ready for that. Goddesses, we looking at y'all. Okay? But listen, man, this is the time, y'all. Y'all got the affirmation, and it is more. Like I said, there's more. There's so many blind spots that I see. I came up in this. I came up in this affirmation, bro. I came up in this affirmation, and I ain't trying to just shoot at the guy Dinta and Sakar. They've been out there sojourning, doing. I understand, but nigga, them niggas is hustlers over there, bro. They hustlers. Y'all niggas, y'all. This is the big league. I thought y'all was ready to swim with the great whites. You know what I'm saying? Them niggas is hustlers over there. Them niggas still selling airports to people. For real. And we have your void judgments will get Baba out too, man. Void judgments. And all this is coming from a place of love, man. Are we at war? We always at war. We at war with ourselves, with the devil inside of ourselves every day. You know what I'm saying? And we at war with disagreeable beings like the brother Sabine assassins, black devils. But we have to be careful not to become the black devils that we at war with. Did I say that? We have to be careful not to become what we opposing. Okay? Alright, so I'm about to get out of here. Let me look for a quote. Another quote, and I'm gonna do another prayer. Do a quote and a prayer. So this is my conspiracy quote. Alright, my conspiracy quote of the day is from Eckhart Tolle. And he said, "You are here to enable the divine purpose of the universe to unfold. That is how important you are." You know, all of us have to play our part, family. We all got to get involved to evolve or dissolve. And we're going to end off with a prayer. Nah, I'm going to go back to like the chants. I'm going to go to do a chant. We're going to just end up with Patak Yud. Getting involved, mama? Okay, Patak Yud Muisa. Anuki Jawef Pa Ashokim Pa Paut Wu Kale Ashok Kawum Jawef Neya Anuki Kasam Un Impa Paut Wu Pa Paut Kawun Kasam Un Em Neya Anuki Wahu Ame Pa Paut Wu Pa Paut Kawun Wahu Ame Neya Nakuk Kado Naju Ame Kasam Un Impa Paut Wu Khabub Ame Mushkasun Nakuk Kador Kawan Kale Pafef Nakuk Dayor Jowef Pa Paut Ame Wase Ame Dayarni Kawun Lake Bakui Jowef Pa Paut Anuki Yabebi Nafashni Pa Paut Kawun Anuki Pa Paut Kador Nakuk Kador Pa Paut Amul Nakuk Amul. And to say that in Inglisi is the affirmation. I am in the divine love of the all expanding, and all divine love is in me. I am a part of the all expanding, and the all expanding is a part of me. I am one as the all expanding, and the all expanding is one as me. I can succeed as a part of all expanding and fail as an individual person. I can be all that I want in the all expanding, as long as my want is to stay in the all expanding. I am never by myself. The all expanding is, I am. The all expanding can, I can. The all expanding does, I do. Atum reye, atun reye, amun reye, anun reye. All right, family. We out. And if you wanna do any donations, man, y'all can hit me in the Cash App, Pharaoh Rising. That's $ Pharaoh Rising. It's my Cash App. And you're gonna hear me soon, but right, listen. Start making some free will donations soon because we got some projects going on. I don't know if y'all know, but I'm like one of the few. Well, on this side, I'm the only one I know of as far as prison correspondence, and I'll be buying books and sending them to brothers and sisters that's locked up, and I'll have no help doing it. So if y'all want to donate, y'all can help me out and send me donations for the prison correspondence, because I done went to the book room 1,000 times to try to set up all kinds of prices for the book room. That's another thing. Before I go, I see him talking, throwing little hot shots, talking about people bootlegging books. But when y'all niggas ain't doing your job and the books is not being printed and people are living off of selling books, what do you expect them to do? Nine mind, God mind kicks in and becomes self-sufficient. Don't be upset with people from doing what they gotta do as a deity. Especially if you're not gonna shoot down the people that's over there that bought the printing presses and that's selling them the books. I heard, Sabine Assassin getting shot down for having bootleg books in his store, but you ain't shooting at the niggas that's printing the books. Why you ain't making no public declarations about that? That's all I'm saying. Anyway, love is love. Wadu Muizar. We all we got, man. We just going through some family friction. That ain't about nothing. It ain't no war. Sabine Assassin kind of sensitive. It ain't no super war like that. It ain't about nothing. You know what I'm saying? If anything, brothers really got some personal stuff, they could grab the gloves and get in the basement with our shoot five, and then go talk and laugh and walk, ice down their bumps and bruises, and let's get to work. That's what we about. All right, family. Wadu, peace and blessings. Pharaoh on deck. All right, y'all be safe.